Something's on my heart. I want to
Wait, start again.
start again. What?
Just start again. Sorry, something's wrong.
Okay. All right. Episode 38 of Putting You in Your Place today with Justin Whitlock. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I got something on my heart. I just want to restate our purpose here. I just want to tell you guys what I'm trying to accomplish and what this show's about. My show here, Putting You in Your Place, is a platform. We're gonna bring people on in the local community. We're gonna talk about topics that are going on here in the world around the New River Valley, how it's affecting us. You know, we're gonna talk to leaders. We're gonna talk to business people. We're gonna talk to people that have something to say, that want to use our platform to jump off and do whatever they're trying to accomplish. So today we got Justin Whitlock. He is a chiropractor here in town and got a pretty compelling story. We've been chatting, right before we got on air, and I think it's going to be a great discussion with him. Justin, we appreciate you coming on today and being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So let's just jump right into it, man. You're a former college athlete,
Mm-hmm.
you're a former car salesman, you're a current chiropractor.
Yep.
Give us that story. Tell us, get us on your path and just take us through your journey to kind of where you are.
Okay. So I played college football at Concord University over in West Virginia, not too far from here. Majored in a lot of different things, while my time was there. Ended up finishing up with health promotion as my area of study. Became a personal trainer. Did that for a couple of years up in the Beckley area. Worked at a place that's a physical therapy clinic, a fitness center, and a chiropractic office all in the same facility.
Yeah.
And while working there, primarily what I did was work with people. After insurance quit paying for physical therapy, they'd join the gym, come see me, and I'd continue on with their therapy.
Gotcha.
And after doing that for a couple of years at $10 an hour, I was like, I need to do something to make it more of a career instead of a job.
Right.
Because I really loved helping people.
Right.
And my boss said, you need to go back to school. So I said, well, do I go to physical therapy school or chiropractic school? And he suggested chiropractic because they're a portal of entry. They don't have to have a referral to go there. And so I started looking at schools. One popped up in Texas that was 4 miles from my sister's house.
Nice.
So I made the move from odd West Virginia to Houston, Texas. And that was a culture shock for sure. And, while I was down there, learned everything about chiropractic, and my health went bad because, you're studying school, you're staying up late, you're eating bad,
Yeah.
Not working out like you should. I got up to about 350 pounds.
Wow.
And, graduated in December of 2012, moved here to Virginia in January of 2013. Been down here ever since, kind of working around different chiropractic clinics. And got burnt out after about 4 years. And a patient of mine was in the car business, and he said, well, you can do pretty well in the car business. And at the time, my wife was pregnant, about to have our first baby. And he said, people buy cars off people they like and they trust. And if you can get somebody to trust you enough to let you pop their neck, they'll buy a car from you, no problem.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I was like, yeah, right, whatever. Then a few months later, I saw Sheeler was hiring, and that's where he worked. And I put in my application and went to talk to him. About 45 minutes later, I was starting a new career.
Nice.
And spent 3 years there with Sheeler, and then COVID hit. I was laid off during COVID, and I'm not one to sit around. So there was another dealership, Hart GMC up in Salem. They were hiring. So I went up there and knew a lot of mutual people from the car business. So got hired there, I drew 1 week of unemployment.
Gotcha.
And, worked there from April 1st of last year until January of this year. Just with everything changing, lack of inventory, stuff like that made it car business a little tough. And so that kind of brought me back to my roots of chiropractic. I live in Christiansburg, and driving back and forth, I'd always go through Shawsville.
Yeah.
And saw a sign there that said office space for rent. And just had the light hit me. Rent that space and get back into chiropractic and do it the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
And talked to the wife, and she was okay with it. The rent there is phenomenal.
Yeah.
They take care of me pretty good there. And so I started doing that and car sales at the same time. Was going on my day off, just seeing a few patients. And, I got an opportunity with Mutual of Omaha to go on with them as a insurance producer. And I can do that from my office. So that allowed me to be in my chiropractic clinic full time and give me another source of income just while I'm building the clinic.
Gotcha.
And I enjoy that too. You're getting to help families. You're doing, stuff that they don't necessarily want to talk about, end of life stuff, but it's something everybody's got to face. So you got to be prepared for it.
Is that all it is life insurance?
No, we've got life insurance, disability insurance, critical illness, annuities, retirement, different investments. I'm working on my Series 65 to get my so I can do securities and stuff like that, do full financial planning.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So this health and wellness thing, you're really like, that's, you're going to have building blocks on everything. You can relate, how you're going to be building someone's health the same way you're going to be building someone's wealth.
That's right.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's something that kind of hit me. I was, going through getting laid off and having to take out my 401k to pay bills and stuff. In the meantime, I was like, I realized I thought I was doing okay, but I didn't have myself set up to handle any kind of issue,
Right.
I was okay for a week or two if something happened, if I didn't sell a car or something like that, but losing my job and running into going from, probably half my income.
Wow.
Changed. And then I couldn't handle that, and I wasn't prepared for it. So the kind of person I am, if I'm weak in an area, I go learn as much about it as I can.
Yeah.
So, I got on with Mutual of Omaha, so I got some great training, I'm learning everything. And then I kind of looked at it from a different approach. I'm the kind of person that I've got to make things make sense to me.
Yeah.
And I got to use things that I understand. So when I was going to chiropractic school, the body, for me to learn how it worked, I'm a mechanically minded person, so I had to look at it like it was a machine, designed a certain way to function properly. When things get out of alignment, they don't function the way they're supposed to. So that's how I made it make sense to me. So now I was looking at a whole new thing with financial planning, looking at those kind of things, and I was like, now I got to look at it like the way you build your health. And in my training, they're talking about the two pillars for building your wealth. You got protection and accumulation. And I was like, well, your health is kind of like that too. You do things to protect yourself. You don't do drugs. You don't drink to excess. You don't jump out of airplanes, do anything crazy like that.
Cigarettes.
Yeah, to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And then there's things you can do to accumulate health. Eating right, exercise, and doing different things like that.
Yeah.
Also things that just finding a passion, finding love, those kind of things that give life to your years, not necessarily years to your life.
Right.
But those
I
kind
like
of
that.
things.
That's a great quote. That's a great quote.
And so I was like, if you approach both of these the same way, then it helps you out because your health affects your wealth. If you're not healthy, you're not making as much money, you're spending money on health care, things like that, and that takes away from what you can put into your savings and to build that wealth.
Gotcha.
There's some research out there shows that like a healthy 65-year-old high school education by 65 will amass about $230,000 in wealth by 65. Somebody who's unhealthy is about $120,000 because they haven't been able to put as much back because they're spending it on health care.
Gotcha. Man,
So,
that's the numbers. Is that numbers here locally, or are these numbers
This-
across the board?
just
on
across
average?
the board on average.
Man, that's way too. We need to do a better job across the board on how we work our money. I mean,
Right.
even the best 65-year-olds on average are only going to amass $250,000. You can't retire on $250,000. I mean, you can't retire on $1 million. If you're mapping your life to 100 and you're retiring at 65, you're gonna have to have millions.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so getting strategies and getting a fully educated person about it to advise you seems to be like if you don't want to do it yourself, you need to hire people to do it.
That's right.
So that service that you're providing seems to be the right thing to do.
Right.
Not only just for you, so you can do it for yourself, then you bring people along with you.
Right.
So it sounds like you're right in line with what you need to do for you.
Right.
And that it sounds like you care enough about a lot of people in general to want to provide that service for you.
Right.
Or from you.
Yeah.
So the great thing about what you're doing too is you're in an area that is going to see a massive increase in population. Shawsville, you being down the mountain in Shawsville, is actually probably wise because there's new construction development. There's going back to Sheeler.
Yeah.
My Sheeler story is like if the new River Valley was the universe and we were in the Star Wars age, Sheeler's would be the Empire.
Yeah.
Sheeler's would be the Empire. And they run everything. They're taking big risks. They're getting big rewards.
Right.
They're building houses. They're farming.
Right.
They're selling cars. They're in the car wash business. They've got their hands in everything. So you knowing that they're spending money down there, you knowing that you could get a rent that's probably undervalued now, and you get established and you're first in the space. In that regard, I mean, I don't know what the competition is down there, but it's probably nothing.
Yeah.
So, you having the vision and the courage to leave the comfort. Maybe that was a forced exit from the car business because you just didn't see a viable income there for you because of the lack of inventory and the pandemic situation and all that stuff. But you are timing this perfectly, in my opinion. So. Using strategies that are available to you today, and we were talking off air about some of your marketing strategies. Take us through that. What are you doing? We've got some TikTok things planned for you to look at. Are you looking at social media stuff? Take us through your marketing efforts and how you're going to grow this business.
Yeah. So right now, Facebook is my primary area because everybody's on Facebook probably 3 hours a day or more.
Yeah.
Actually met a guy through Facebook, George Vivenko is his name. Chiroplusmarketing.com is how you can get his information. He's amazing. He's helping me learn what I need to do chiropractic wise. I mean, marketing wise for my chiropractic.
Yeah.
He's helping me on my page. He posts 2 pages a day, every day, 7 days a week.
Right.
He does a newsletter for me, and he's got me set up with software where I can mass email to my patients and text messages. He's helping me with getting Google reviews and stuff like that, the stuff that puts your name up top when somebody Googles chiropractic near me.
So it sounds like you stumbled into somebody that is going to be very beneficial into your marketing.
Yeah. And all he works with is chiropractors. And, he caught me, just starting out. So I had nothing to offer to him, but he's doing everything in the world to help me.
Yeah.
And, we've become great friends over the last 6 months or so.
Right. So when he comes for the ask, it's probably going to be worth you, because of all the things that he's done. Like when he wants to get you under contract on a marketing schedule and a fee, I would definitely take care of him at least one round.
Yeah.
At least one. And it sounds like your client list is growing, right?
Yeah.
Like how many clients are you serving?
So I started out doing the 1 day a week, and I would maybe see 6 patients on that day. Yeah. I'm averaging 15 to 20 a week now. I've got like 75 patients in my books that alternate whether they come weekly or every 2 weeks or monthly. So I'm building it up. It's getting there. I've been in the area for 8 years, and working chiropractic part of it, car sales part of it, and
Developing relationships with folks. I'm sure you've got a big CRM full of like past car clients that you could say, hey, we've kind of shifted gears here. So if you ever need something from me in the health and wellness or financial situation, you can still come to me, and we're working on that for you now too.
Yeah, that's when I started with Mutual of Omaha. They get you to come up with a list of 200 names when you're going through your training of the people that you're going to call first. To try to offer their products, and I was like, well, I got a list like that, no problem. I can just run down. I said, in the area here, my wife hates going to Walmart with me because I can't get through there without. I've either sold them a car, been their chiropractor, and a lot of them both. So that's why when they hired me at Mutual of Omaha, they were kind of interested in me, even though I told them up front, I said, I'm still going to run my chiropractic practice. That's who I am.
That's the main game.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. I
said, but that gets me in front of a lot of people, and I have an opportunity to help a lot of people out, with that business as well. And I kind of joked with them. I was like, I want all of my customers to be patients and all my patients to be customers. That's my plan. So then I did this health and wealth management group on Facebook, just because I have a lot of friends that know more than me about health, a lot of friends that know more than me about financial planning and stuff like that. It's a learning game all the way around.
Sure.
So I was like, if I can get all these people in one group, then we can help more people. And that's the main thing.
The collaboration part of it all. Like one person's not going to know it all. Not one person's going to have the perspective that's going to keep the bar moving all the time. So like having a group to say, hey, what do y'all think about this? Or this is a strategy I'm about to implement. What do y'all think? Is that something y'all would want to jump on with? Or the collaboration effort to calibrate,
right.
To just stay in line and like on the track and make sure that, you're not getting way wobbly, off this thing. And like, I think that's the right way to move.
Right. Yeah. Like I know nothing about cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
So I got several people on my group that have been doing that since it started,
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
oh man, if they could have got into Bitcoin when it started, man. Whew.
I was like, so if you know something about this, I got guys on there. If you want to know something about it, I'll tag him in the post.
Yeah.
If you need to know about real estate, I got, several realtors on there.
Sure.
You being one, I think.
Sure.
And I was like, there's so many different aspects. Not one person can know it all.
Yeah.
But if I can be that person that you come to for all those questions, then I at least know somebody to put you with.
Yep. Being the person that can point you in the direction of the information you're looking for, that's extremely valuable.
Right.
That's extremely valuable. So you're setting yourself up. You're setting yourself up in a great way, I think. So you got down like your chiropractic business model is a little different.
Right.
Tell us about how that's a little different. Is it because of the financial thing as well? Like, tell us a little bit about what you thought, what you're thinking there is, or what the model actually is.
So I got burned out on chiropractic, dealing with insurance companies and all the stress and headache of that. And you got to have your pricing set a certain way with the insurance company, so it's expensive.
Yeah. And
for you to make money as a business, you've got to charge enough to where you can pay somebody to fight the insurance company to get it. One point in time, when I first started out, I was dealing with one of the insurance companies. I was the only one in the area dealing with them because they were a pain in the butt, and I was fresh out of school. And their copays were about $50. If we did everything in the clinic on the patient, it was about $67. So we would have to bill the insurance for the $17. And my billing lady would be on the phone with them for sometimes 3-4 hours just to get that $17.
Wow.
And I'm paying her $12, $13 an hour to get that 17. And I was like, not a math major, but that don't add up.
Right.
So after going on through the headache of that and a lot of these different companies will try, chiropractic management companies and stuff want you to do it a certain way. Once I got in the car business, I realized it was just selling techniques. You know,
Yeah.
they want you to sell a certain number of visits or whatever, you know, and I didn't like doing it that way. I was a little stressed out because, you know, your chiropractor, you know, if a patient comes to a doctor, they're going to do what you tell them to do. So I didn't necessarily like that, you know, telling them stuff that maybe they didn't need.
Yeah.
Just because the insurance would pay for it.
Right.
I'm not like that. I'm not going to do that. And so I kind of decided I was going to do it a different way. I don't take insurance. And a lot of the problem in healthcare is the paper service. So you get charged for every little thing that they do. You know, in the hospital, you get charged for everything.
Yeah.
You know, $100 for a Tylenol or something like
Right.
that. I was like, to me, I'm going to do it by time. So I charge, you know, a flat rate per 15 minutes. So if we're working, it's a quick adjustment, 15 minutes, it's a certain rate. If we're going to spend an hour doing some exercises, soft tissue work, whatever, then it's, you know, 4 times that rate.
Yeah.
And even at that, I'm still cheaper than a lot of copays and most insurance
Sure.
deductibles and stuff like that. So I kind of looked at doing it a different way. I was like, you know, that's part of our problem is the healthcare model now. That's why everything's so expensive. So if we do it a different way, then maybe that's what we got to do.
Yeah.
You know, and so far my patients love it that way. They don't want to deal with their insurance companies either.
Yeah.
So
would they get credit? Would they get credit off their deductible? Because, you know, some people's got like
Yeah.
a $7,000 deductible.
Yeah.
So if they come and they use your service and they pay out of pocket, will that contribute to their deductible?
Yeah, they can send it. They can send in stuff to their insurance company if they want, and it'd be out of network benefits. So may
So
or may
they,
not.
they may get reimbursed.
Yeah,
But
possibly.
you're just
Yeah.
not dealing with it.
Yeah, just keeps me from having
They
to do
can
it.
deal with it if they want to try it, but
Yeah.
you know, the fee for your service, I mean, typically do you see a patient and you're like, okay, well, we're gonna need to do this for 8 weeks. Like how does that go? Like do they come in, boom, 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 and they're done, or do they come in and you're like, you know, like we need to do this like once a week,
Right.
you know?
So I have my recommendations.
Yeah.
That was another part of it. I let them kind of determine their treatment plan.
Gotcha.
You know your body better than I do.
Yeah. I mean, I know I got to crack my knuckles like at least once a day,
Right.
you know, to have like the full range of motion of what the blood flow and everything like that. So like, I'm sure if you start getting into the back and, you know, and they start feeling that joint pain there, they need some relief, you know, like they're going to need that quite often.
Right.
Right.
So I tell my patients, I like to see 2 or 3 times pretty close together just to make sure that it's working.
Yeah.
That, you know, you're feeling better. We're achieving the goals we want to. And then after that, it's kind of up to you. Do you want to come, you know, weekly, monthly, every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
you know, 10 times a week, whatever's up to you, because it's your body.
Yeah.
You're in charge of your health.
Do you get people just on the fly, hey, calling the office, hey, I need an appointment, get me in as soon as possible? And like, or are they scheduled out for like a month?
Most people, you know, they're scheduling pretty close together, but I do get some that, you know, I have this family of 4 that just called me a couple of weeks ago. They're like, well, first it just started with one. She was like, I'm on an appointment for April 2nd. And then she called me back, put my husband on there. And then she called me back about an hour later. She was like, actually put my 2 kids on there too. We're just going to make a day of it. You know, I was like, all right, I'll take 4 people at once. You know, that's a good day for me.
Right on.
But yeah, so I'm starting to get my name out through word of mouth and stuff like that, especially being in Shawsville, and I'm not from there, so nobody knows who I am.
Yeah. You know what the next position for you is? Like if you can do it, is actually go down there and like be a part of the community.
Yeah.
Like buy a house down there, and like that's when you start getting solidified. You know, that's what I want to do in Blacksburg.
Right.
You know, like I love Blacksburg. I want to be a part of this community. I want to live here. I want to grow my business here. I want to serve the people of this community. and the greater New River Valley.
Right.
But I'm focused on Blacksburg. I think Blacksburg's going to take me home.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna find love here eventually. I'm gonna create a life. I'm gonna have a family. I'm gonna have all these things in Blacksburg.
Right.
Blacksburg's gonna support me eventually.
Right.
You know. So I think the same thing for you. If I was giving you any great, you know, my best advice, it would be like, go be a homeowner down there. Go be a part of that community. Shop down there. Be a part of that community. They're going to come support you.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I've started doing some things like that. Who I rent off of actually used to be the Mountain Valley Charitable Foundation. Now it's the Eastern Montgomery Charitable Foundation. I think they changed the name to it. So I try to get involved with anything that they're doing like that, the concerts and stuff that they have there at the field. They had a few of those over the summer. That was pretty cool. They boxed it off 6 feet apart and all that stuff. So, you know, do all the COVID guidelines, but it was cool to have live music again.
Right.
You know, got to listen to some cool bands that I hadn't been around. You know, so they do a good job down there, and it is a close knit community. So once you get involved with them, you know, I think it's going to be great for me. Like
honestly, there's going to be, you know, the population growth here in the area, the fleeing of Roanoke County into other spots. You know, Roanoke County is getting wildly competitive. Blacksburg's getting wildly competitive. Christiansburg's getting wildly competitive. There's going to be spillover into Eastern Montgomery, Reiner, Floyd, Pulaski. You know, it's just going to continue to, you know, all the very, very populated areas are going to continue to kind of put people, you know, there's going to be the working class, and then there's going to be the elite. And Blacksburg is looking like, you know, it's going to be hard to get into Blacksburg under $500,000 here soon.
Right.
So they're building $200,000 houses in Shawsville.
Right.
They're building $200,000 houses in Pulaski.
Right.
So like, there's just going to be a continuous, like, when people come up and they're able to become homeowners, they're going to see more value in these less populated areas. You know,
that was one of the things that I learned from the car business, I guess, is it's not about how much money you make. It's about the difference between how much money you make and how much you spend.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to stay there in Charlesville, because my rent, if I went to Christiansburg, Salem, Blacksburg, I'd probably see more patients, you know, absolutely, because there's a lot more people there going through on a daily basis.
Right.
But I'm going to spend 5 times as much on rent.
Sure.
Or more.
But we want to see you, like, you know, when you have something great to offer, we want to see you blow up. We want to see you get big.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can get big, if you can be in the frontier of getting a business started like that in that area, then that's going to encourage more restaurants, more housing developments, more things to come around that are going to help that population decide that that's a place that they'd be willing to live.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so you bringing your service there is like a precursor to what might become available down there. Right. You know?
Yeah, they're right across from my office, which is in the old Meadowbrook building, where the fitness center is and everything. Used to be a bank. They're working on it now. Christiansburg Pharmacy's opening up a location down there.
Nice.
So, you know, we're getting a pharmacy. We've got a couple of restaurants down there already, a couple of gas stations in the area.
Good to see them expanding.
Yeah. There's a new restaurant going to be opening up in Elliston, out by Row Furniture.
There you go. So look at what employment and housing does to grow a community.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly where we are. The New River Valley is well employed. You know, minus some restaurant jobs that we need to get back, you know, that the restrictions need to come off and those need to come back.
Yeah.
And we need to get back to some sort of sense of normalcy of whatever that's going to be moving forward. And I'm just ready to see an explosion of new homeowners in areas like Shawsville.
Yeah.
So that's going to do nothing but put more opportunity in your office.
Right.
You know, so.
Yeah, I know they got the new development going up there that Sheeler's involved in. One of my friends just bought a house out over there. So, yeah, it's definitely a growing area. And like I said, just driving through there, I love to drive. I always go that way instead of driving on 81 because it doesn't take that much longer and it's safer drive.
Right.
And I decided, that I like that area. Like I said, if I could be in Christiansburg or I could be in Salem, but it's going to cost me a lot more. And those people need access,
Right. Well, I think this is a good segue to these 2 TikTok videos. That there's a trend going on now on TikTok that it's called the back crack challenge, and it seems like not a great thing to be doing. So I want to bring that up, and I want to bring the video up. We're gonna come back. We're gonna react to that. We're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna do we're gonna go to the second video. I got 2 videos for you that I want to see you react
Had to try it out,
and then go from there.
All right, so I'm gonna set the spine on top of you. Just
had to try it out.
So right back. So right back.
Just wait. Just wait. And wait, it gets worse. And wait, it gets worse.
Are we back? Are we back on that? So what do you think on that one?
So
That seems really dangerous.
yeah, one thing we hadn't talked about is my student loan debt. Nearly $400,000 in student loans for my chiropractic degree.
And then you see stuff like that,
Yeah.
and you're like, you
And-
rascal.
What's funny is the learning to pop somebody's back, do that in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
No problem. All the education is learning when not to.
Right.
And that's the thing. I'm sure there was no exam involved in that. No idea what's going on with her spine. So probably not the safest procedure, especially with somebody who don't know what they're doing.
Right.
As you could clearly see, he didn't even know where to put his hands.
Right.
So that's not the best idea. Definitely go see a professional.
So what is the danger? What's the danger in that move and what that could possibly do? If she was perfectly in line, she might not have needed that adjustment,
Right.
and her making that adjustment could have put her out of line. Right.
Yeah, that's one thing. The pop itself is a release of gas from the joint. So like you said, you get that from your knuckles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're adjusting an area that doesn't need to be adjusted, you can cause some hypermobility. So that's one thing you want to keep from.
Back in the day, my mom told me if I popped my knuckles, I'd get arthritis, or my hands would kind of like,
Yeah.
my grandfather did have osteoporosis. He got to the point where he could barely move his joints.
Right.
That type thing.
Yeah.
Like, does any of that cause any like long-term damage to your body?
Well, the popping of your knuckles not going to give you arthritis. Most people are going to get arthritis in the hands because we use them a lot.
And then we just want to blame it on that, right?
Yeah. I mean, we type, we do things with our hands all the time, so it's overuse.
I mean,
thing.
I've got 38 years on these.
Yeah. And, like my right hand is bigger than my left.
Right.
Because
Ooh,
I
yeah,
played
it is.
football.
Yeah.
I was on this hand holding my big butt up for, up until I was 20 years old. So
Right.
from 8 years old to 20 years old, I was in a 3-point stance. And so that I do have arthritis in this hand. It hurts. When I got back into adjusting full time, going from the car business back into chiropractic full time, I wasn't used to seeing, a good number of patients.
Yeah.
So I've got some aches and pains going on in there now that it's reminded me that I wasn't in chiropractic shape.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's a lot of what it is just overuse. That's where your arthritis comes from. Your body lays down more bone to handle the pressure that you're putting onto it. And so you get the bone spurs and stuff like that. And that's what arthritis is the extra buildup of bone in that area. And it's just what your body does to protect itself. You put more pressure on it every day, then the body's like, okay, that's going to break. I need to put more bone there to protect it. And that's the cool thing about our body is it takes care of itself. It knows what it needs.
Right.
If we keep being crazy and doing the stuff to it, yeah, it'll put us in a bad situation. But That's one reason I got into chiropractic is, being from West Virginia and the opioid problems. I found out, like, you go into the doctor, all the coal miners up there and stuff, with a pulled muscle in their back. They get a pain pill, muscle relaxer, something like that, and they don't get enough education with it. So they feel better. They go back to work doing what they're doing. Well, that muscle's still damaged. So the muscle protects the spine. So go do the same thing they did when they pulled the muscle. Now the muscle can't protect it, and then they get herniated discs and stuff like that, and then they get surgery, and then they're out on disability. And it was all because they blocked that pain signal. Pain is your body telling you to stop doing what you're doing. If you block it, then you're not listening to your body, then you can really hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, going through physical therapy, doing all that stuff, I found that there's ways to help people without the medication.
Yeah.
And that was the direction I wanted to go.
Gotcha. So your professional advice is don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's ridiculous.
If you have issues going on, you have back pain, even if you don't have back pain, it's good to go see a chiropractor, check the alignment.
Yeah.
Because you don't necessarily hurt. Sounds
like if you do that too much, you're going to need a chiropractor eventually anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're gonna knock something out of whack.
All right. Let's see that next one. This next one coming up is like, I fear that somebody's going to rip their shoulder out of socket. This one's wild right here.
Alright, so I'm going to set the spine on top of you just to demonstrate this adjustment. Set the spine on top of you just to demonstrate this adjustment. But what this patient has is she has a rotation. But what this patient has is she has an upper T-spine that looks like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact this and bring it back over like this.
Yeah, this is a real deal guy.
Put this guy down.
But we can do this one.
Feel right in here. First I'm going to move the hair. It's never fun when you get the hair tangled up. I'm going to feel the SPs and put those right on my palm here. I'm going to bring the head over a little bit. Oh, and that already moved a little bit, but that's not the one we're going for. Nice and easy. Beautiful.
So that's what you do.
Yeah. And of course, he had the mic down there, so it sounded louder than it really is.
Right. And he got the little jerk on you, so you thought he was like doing something special.
Yeah, held it a little longer than he needed to.
He was,
making the show out of it. But.
Yeah, let me see if I can get this one I actually wanted to be on here. It looks like it was removed. It's
happening younger than that.
It was one where they were like looping their arms in together and pulling them up. Let's see.
So we did have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
From Christy on YouTube, and she was asking, so basically it wouldn't be safe for you to do one of those cool on-air neck cracks for Scott without having done like a thing first?
Yeah, not without, taking a history and making sure nothing crazy's going on.
Okay. I'm going to link this to our outline, Sky. See if you can't bring this up here as I'm editing here, because this one was the TikTok challenge. Like, this one was the actual one that like people were doing. Like, this one was the most popular one.
Right.
Okay.
I'm putting it on there right now.
I might be able to like put it up on the TV, but I won't be able to do it on the stream, just because the way I've been doing it is sending it to the phone and then copying it over. It'll take me a couple minutes. So.
Okay, so that was the only question that you had, because the link is on the outline right now.
Yeah.
See, because that was the one I actually wanted to go
I'm about
up.
to do a little back poppy thing.
I heard that.
Okay. Oh, like this? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
And
perfect.
like a backpack? Yeah. If you can do this, I'm going to be live, because Adrian couldn't do it because I was too short. Keep going! Do it more! Go up higher!
it feels like her shoulders
Yeah,
are going to she's going to rip
Okay,
her
now
shoulders out of
Corey.
the socket or something.
Okay. Let's see. Like, okay.
Oh, I fear this the girl in the pink is not,
Yeah.
she can barely lift her.
Yeah, that's not the best way to do it for either person. Yeah, she's going to hurt herself and the patient.
Stop doing stupid stuff for views.
Yeah.
Like that's my reaction. Is like you guys are getting wild on things that could like really affect your well-being.
Yeah. That's going to affect your health, which is going to affect your wealth later on. Because if you break your back or neck,
You rip your shoulder out of socket.
yeah, you're not going to be able to work and make money.
Right. Right on. Well, all right. Let's just tell people how they're gonna find you.
Okay.
You know, we'll just kind of wrap this up. I think this was a good episode. I think we had some good moments there. People get to know you a little bit. You know, tell them how they're gonna find you. Direct them to wherever you want to direct them to. And if they need your service, you know, you have to come down the mountain to Shawsville. But I think it's probably worth the drive.
Yeah, well worth the drive.
Yeah.
You can find me, my website's angelgracechiropractic.com, and you can find me on Facebook, Angel Grace Chiropractic. Angel Grace comes from my two daughters, Lily and Angel and Inslee Grace. I took their middle names and, you know, made the practice for them.
Nice.
You know, they're the owners. I just work for them. If you come in for an evening appointment, most of the times they're going to be there because they go to daycare right across the street from me. And so I go pick them up in between patients, and they get to spend an hour at Daddy's office. And so if you like kids, they're going to be there in the evening time, usually after 5 o'clock. And they like to help Daddy, so they'll get out, they'll clean the table off for me, they'll come talk to the patients, they'll try to help them out. Lily will be 4 in November, and Inslee will be 2 May 10th. So they're cute little girls, and they're wild.
Right on, man. Well, we appreciate you being on the show. You know, however we can help you, you know, I feel like I've got a set of skills of like, I know promotion, I know marketing, I know that it takes a lot of courage to do what you're trying to do as a business owner. I know it can be emotional at times. You know, you're not getting to where you want to be. Expenses are heavy at times, and revenue's thin at times. And, you know, like, so whatever I can do to encourage you, inspire you, give you advice, you know, help you with strategies, I'll definitely lend you a hand there. No problem.
I appreciate it.
So just keep me as a source of information and whatever I can do to help you. Obviously, you know, I'd want to be there for you. Any real estate deals you want to get involved with, you need to negotiate, you know, a sales price on the building. You know, you need to buy the building at some point. You know, paying rent there is going to be of your detriment financially. So you trying to find a place to solidify, plant your flag in that town, and that's your building and your business, and not having to run rent, you know, for forever would be the goal. So, you know, keep me in mind there, and we'll help you however we can. So that's episode 38. I'm going to plug next week's show, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Next week, we've got Michael Johnston of MCJ's Home Maintenance. We're interested in his story. He's also a DJ on 90.7 FM. We're going to get in here and talk to him about everything he's got going on. And we appreciate everybody that continues to show up for us, watch our stuff, be involved with our community. You know, you see my hat today. I'm done wearing other people's merch. I'm creating my own. We got the Putting You in Your Place hat that I'm sporting here today. This is our logo. This is something that y'all are going to see around town. Any support you can give us to comment, like, subscribe, share our stuff would mean the world to me at this point. And again, we just really appreciate it. That's 38 episodes of this show. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep doing it. And we appreciate any support you can give us. So until next week, we're out. Thank you.